I'm about to show you a really efficient and optimal way to locate and identify every single note across the neck. So obviously this is a great way to reinforce and enhance your map of the neck and your understanding of the fretboard. So grab your guitar and let's jump in. Like I said, this is a really incredible way to locate and identify every single note across the fretboard. Of course, this is really important information and knowledge to have if you're trying to get really great at this instrument, and it really only takes a few minutes on the front end of your practice session. So if this is information and knowledge you do want to have, just 5 minutes on the front end of your practice sessions for 4 weeks will get you so much more comfortable with your instrument, with identifying things around the neck, and like I said, will help you reinforce and enhance your map of the neck and your understanding of the neck. So let's just go ahead and jump right in. It's really, really simple stuff. We're gonna start by locating every C on each string, right? And we're gonna keep things between the open notes and the 12th fret. So it's just one note per string. All right, so the C on the low E string, just to do this together, is the 8th fret. All right, simple enough. On the A string, it's the 3rd fret. On the D string, it's the 10th fret. On the G string, it's the 5th fret. On the B string, it's the 1st fret. And on the high E, just like the low E, it's the 8th fret. So that's all we're gonna do, is get each one of those C notes on each string, go from low E to high E, and then back down. Now this might seem like, oh, well, this is only for beginners, but there are a lot of intermediate players who also skip over knowledge like this. So this would be great for intermediates who have gotten some technical skills under their fingers, but don't really understand the fretboard or the neck for themselves, are missing some, theory pieces and things like that, some information pieces beyond technical skills inside of song. So just want to cover that too. This isn't just for beginners necessarily. All right. Then we're going to go from high E back to low E. 8th fret on the high E. 1st fret on the B string. 5th fret on the G string. 10th fret on the D string. 3rd fret on the A string. 8th fret on the low E string. As you're going through this, don't just be mindless. Recognize the relationship, between strings and where the notes land, right? Depending on how your brain works, all of our brains work a little bit differently. We all have different preferences for absorbing information. I always think it's helpful to remind myself, or something that I think I just inherently look at, is all of these octaves when you skip strings. So low E is 8th fret for C, D, right? D string, it's 10th fret, and then the B string, it would be the 13th fret or the 1st fret, but if I kind of bunch them right here, we're within 5 frets of each other, and I've got, all of these C notes. It's just a good reminder that when we're in the major scale, pentatonic scale, whatever, you've got all these ways in which the scale repeats. You only have so many notes to work with. I think that's just a helpful thing for me to come back to. Getting creative on this instrument, there's only so many notes you can play with, so it's just helpful for me to remind myself sliding, bends, where I move, how I pause, things like that are really important for my own creativity, as opposed to trying to play every single note all over the neck. All right, because there's so much repeating. Rather than go up 1 fret at a time and just, going C, C sharp, D, E flat, things like that, I think it's helpful to play the circle of fifths so that you can jump around to different notes. All right, and saying them out loud, things like that can be really helpful. The circle of fifths just relies on the 5th note inside of the major scale. So the 5 in the key of C is G, right? So we're gonna run through the same thing using G. And if you just need to remember that, let's not get too, crazy here. Just like a power chord, right? A power chord is the 1 and the 5. So as you go through this, once you're, done going from low E to high E and back, you can take the note you're on, 2 frets up on the A string, that'll be the note that you're on next. So G, we want to start on the low E, 3rd fret all right, on the low E, 10th fret on the A. We already had that one by, doing that kind of little system of discovering what is the next note to go to. 10th fret on the A string, 5th fret on the D string. Obviously it's open, this is the G string. If you want some extra credit, you can go to the 12th fret as well, all good. And then the B string, we got the 8th fret. And then high E, we have the 3rd fret. And then come on back down, right? And once you get back to the low E, same system, we know that it is now the D note we have to run through, okay? And then once you're finished with running through all the Ds on the fretboard, you know you have A, all right? Once you're done running through all of the A's, you know you have E. And you're gonna do that all the way until you get to F, because then the 5 of F is C, and then you'd be repeating. Now, if you're newer to the guitar, let's just have you set a 5-minute timer. I think that's just the best way to go through things anyways. Just set a 5-minute timer so this doesn't take you an eternity. Some of you might get through the whole thing in under 5 minutes. Lovely, give yourself a pat on the back, all right? If you get to the 5 minutes and you've only made it through a few notes, that's okay, move on, right? We should never be beating ourselves up, especially, if we're trying to have some fun, we wanna get better, but we only have so much time to play, move on to some other stuff that might be more fun. I recognize this isn't like the sexiest exercise of all time. Now, if you're struggling to locate them, you need a second to pause, locate, each note that you're on each string, take your time, no rush. If you start feeling good with this, so let's say you do try this for 4 weeks, if you start feeling good with it, put on a metronome, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe you speed it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. On and on and on. And then all of a sudden you might make it through, every single note in 3.5 minutes. And you will have, right, it's a nice, objective way of gauging your increase in understanding, knowledge, all those things, quickness of identifying, things like that. But that's really it. All right, I just wanted to be brief, give you this nice little tool, this nice little exercise that you can work on. It's a good little project, and I think it will up your capacity, your understanding of the instrument, and will make you a better guitar player, and that's all I want for people. So always in unison with other fun things. Sometimes I'll get a comment like, well, you gotta practice songs. Yes, I know that. But you also wanna have some technical skills if you want to extract from those songs, well, what are they doing? Why are they doing this? So that you can really more effectively bring it into your own playing, okay? There it is. If you did find this helpful, like and subscribe, very helpful to me, and I want to keep getting information out to more people. So that's the deal. If you have anything you want to work on and you haven't seen a good video on it, put it in the comment section and I'll be happy to give you a hand and create a lesson based around that concept. All right? Peace. Happy playing to you all.